I think you're amazing.
You are too, Henry.
Thank you so much. Well, Perry, you are awesome.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, and I appreciate you what you're doing too, buddy.
Well, thank you. Because if you allow the world to define you, if you allow friends to define you, if you allow your spouse to define you, or anybody to define you outside of how God sees you, that does open the door to rejection. God bless you. I hope y'all have an amazing day.
Thank you, Brother Henry.
Thank you.
God bless you too. Thank you for having us.
Welcome to the Brother Henry and You Show. I am your host, Henry Harris. It's such a delight to be here with you today. I want to say thank you for all our viewers, everyone that's tuning in, watching. We have an amazing program for you today. Coaching you to achieve your highest and best is the passion of the New Thought and Spiritual Coach, Reverend Dr. Paul Graetz. He currently serves as a senior pastor of the City of Light in Atlanta for the last 23 years. He has been a spiritual leader, coach, and dean of the Emerson Theological Institute of City of Light. He has been in ministry altogether 45 years. I think that's a huge accomplishment. I want to say thank you for that. And thank you for being.
It's been a wonderful journey.
And thank you for being on the show, Dr. Paul Graetz. And
well, it's a delight to be here with you, and I'm glad that you have offered the opportunity for me to share some of the great things that God has done.
My first question is, can you briefly just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I grew up as a minister's kid. I was, spent my early years in church life, and I worked along with my father as a young teenager, hosting the youth groups and teaching Sunday school, very involved in church life. And I really felt a call to ministry at about age 9. I went off to different Bible colleges and seminary programs down through my years, which opened the doors for me to engage in a worldwide ministry of traveling around the world, ministering in a wide variety of countries. I worked through a mobilization and placement service that placed me in my early years of ministry in countries like India, Kenya, Tanzania. I worked in Thailand, Hong Kong, and the Philippines. I had ministry opportunities to teach in Holland and throughout the Caribbean, in St. Kitts, as well as in Mexico. So I've had a wide variety of experiences, and then the opportunities to pastor in the United States as well. So it's been my delight to just be a light of insight and wisdom for the world. Helping them to achieve their highest best has been my passion.
When did you feel, you mentioned you kind of brought up in this, when did you feel called to ministry, and when did you finally acknowledge that and accepted that call?
As a very young child, I always felt this connection with the spirit and presence of God. I felt a love, and I'm a gay man, and I grew up in a culture where a lot of teaching and preaching was all about this idea that God wouldn't love a homosexual. So I was very confused. I thought, well, then I must not be gay. I don't know what I am, because I know that God loves me, and I know that I'm called to a ministry. And I felt that at a very early age. So I was very confused. If the church was telling me that God doesn't love a homosexual, well, then what am I? Because I really felt that intense love. As years went by, I began to deal with the issue of homosexuality and understanding it in a greater context. And it became a great gateway for me to ask the questions of the church, of the Bible, questions that caused me to search and really examine deeper into my spiritual understanding. They opened up doors. I am so grateful for that question that I began to ask. Can God love a gay man? And can God call a gay man to ministry? That just began to stir within me a desire to seek and understand and to know more. and just opened the doors for greater understanding in a lot of different ways.
Oh, that's awesome. You're the senior minister of City of Light. Can you tell us how did that get started, City of Light?
City of Light began 50 years ago, and it started out as a metropolitan community church with an outreach for the LGBTQ community, really with a great passion towards inclusion and a message of compassion and empowerment. As the years went by, the congregation began to evolve and began to realize that we really wanted to be more inclusive than just thinking we're inclusive by ministering only to the LGBTQ community. We felt like we wanted to broaden our outreach to welcoming everyone. And a lot of people felt uncomfortable saying, I think you started out as a gay church. I love the message. I love the spirit. I love the presence of God that's here, but I'm not gay, so I can't come. So we felt it really appropriate to change our denominational affiliations and welcome the experience of a greater understanding of the New Thought journey of understanding positive, practical spirituality for our lives. Well, that began to open the doors for a wide variety of people coming in. And several years ago in the city of Atlanta, the Progressive Kingdom Awards acknowledged us as the most inclusive church in the city of Atlanta, welcoming everyone, gay, straight, transgender, bisexual, tall, short, various different racial backgrounds. I mean, it was just the incredible plethora of the diversity of our world. And we were very proud of that. That message just began to birth out in greater ways of what it really means to be inclusive, to welcome everyone with no separation. That we really understand there is no separation in our world, that we're all one. And understanding that spirit of oneness then spoke to us about greater compassion. And we began to expand our ministries to start a program of feeding the hungry and the homeless and caring for those who are less fortunate or facing food insecurities. And so we started Crossroads Community Center, one of our programs that feeds the hungry and the homeless every week for now 23 years, providing clothing and providing resources for them to support the community, sleeping bags, backpacks, things that they need that are essential for their survival out on the streets. And along with that, we began to understand really the message of empowerment as part of this congregation and its roots to empower people to achieve their highest and best. So we aligned with the Emerson Institute. We became an East Coast extension of the Emerson Institute, one of the premier New Thought educational institutions offering degrees, a bachelor's, a master's, or a doctorate of divinity in New Thought understanding and metaphysical studies. So we became an empowerment center helping to teach and train people. And our first year, we had people on a journey receiving their doctorates in metaphysical studies. And we have now graduated about I think close to 30 doctorate students through the course of study. And they've just done an amazing job through the educational programs through the Emerson Institute at City of Light.
Oh, that's awesome. What's your plans for maximizing the rest of your ministry years?
Maximizing, well, you mean risks to me personally, or that I may go through as I age? Is that what you mean? Or yeah, you know what? I'm ever proclaiming I'm not aging, I'm youthing.
Yeah.
So my goal is, people ask you, are you ever going to retire? And I said, retire? What would I do when I retire? Because people say, well, when you retire, you do what you love to do. Well, I'm already doing what I love to do. So I hope and intend to do this throughout the years ahead. I'm excited about the possibilities. I'm writing several books. I'm looking forward to even more lectures and teaching opportunities. I'm just excited about what's ahead for me in my ministry.
Oh, that's powerful. So you have been in ministry for over 45 years. To me, as I told you in the beginning of the broadcast, that is a huge accomplishment. My question is, what sustained you? Like, was there ever a time you wanted to throw in the towel, say, I'm done with this? What keeps you going? I mean, 45 years is a long time.
You know, what sustains me is that I love the spiritual truth that awakens my soul. I love the evolutionary journey that I'm on. I want to share that with others. And I am not, ever bored or be a teacher, a pastor, someone helping people on the journey of their spiritual evolution. It's ever exciting. So it's never getting boring. It's always new opportunities and new doors opening up for me. And I'm really excited about what's ahead. Now, there's been times when things have been challenging, but I've never felt like there was a time to say, let's do something different, or let's give up, or let's quit. I think the joy of what I do is so great. I love to see people's lives transformed. When they're awakened to spiritual truth, when they have these great aha moments, when they're suddenly going, now I understand what it's all about. Now I understand the evolution of the soul. I understand what I'm here to do. I understand how we're called to live life. I understand how to be successful. I understand what God's abundance is all about for me personally. Well, those moments are just energizing, and they keep me going. And I'm hoping to have those moments now all the way through my life until the day I pass away, because I'm looking forward to just continuing this ministry and continuing to help people achieve their highest and best. That passion, that love of the awakening, the love of the experience of helping to enlighten people to what God wants for them is just priceless.
That's awesome. Reverend Dr. Paul Graetz, I want to say thank you so much. I don't know how I came across one of your messages maybe a year or two ago, but I was really drawn in by your positivity. My daughter and I loves your closing theme song that you do every Sunday. Take each moment, live each moment. Song we sing that just about every day, and she says, "Dad, not again." We just love how you sing that song, and we may even include it at the end of this broadcast, a video clip kind of showing people what City of Light is all about. But I want to say thank you so much for your friendship. Thank you for what you do. You're an inspiration to many of us, and I appreciate your presence on the show today.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you offering the opportunity for me to share. What you do is so incredible in this fact that you are bringing out the wonderful message of spirituality to this world, and the spirit of giving that you're doing. You're giving of your time and your talents, and you're really touching the world and influencing the world and making it a better place, because that's what it's all about. When we all share in the spirit of giving of whatever we have, our time, our talent, our treasures, we all work together to make the world a better place. Thank you.
That's awesome. For more information about Reverend Dr. Paul Graetz or the City of Light, you can visit www.cityoflightatlanta.com.
So take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins in me. Thank you so much for joining us today here at City of Light.
Well, Perry, you are awesome.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, and I appreciate what you're doing too, buddy.
Well, thank you. Because if you allow the world to define you, if you allow friends to define you, if you allow your spouse to define you, or anybody to define you outside of how God sees you, that does open the door to rejection. God bless you. I hope y'all have an amazing day.
Thank you, Brother Henry.
Thank you.
God bless you too. Thank you for having me.